Hello everyone, my name is Roxana Tang and today we're going to talk about how to sing in pitch, and this is especially for children and for music teachers to help their students. Do you know that being tone deaf is not about being deaf or something wrong with your ear? Rather, it is about not being to get your voice to imitate the sound that you hear. So an example of being tone deaf goes something like this. A note is played on the piano and the singer or child sings this way. La. You play another key and you probably get the same sound. La. How would you train someone who can't pitch according to the sound played on the piano? Is it even possible? My answer is absolutely yes. I've trained many tone-deaf children during my 14 years of conducting group in music appreciation classes for children ages 4 to 6. During those formative years, they went from a whole class of 12 children, some tone-deaf, to everyone carrying a tune and singing complete songs in pitch by the age of 6. My very own firstborn child was so-called tone deaf. He was like those pupils I had in the groups, though he should have my musical genes. But I trained him as I did with the others, and by the time he was in secondary or high school, he and his friends formed a 5-boy singing band in a prominent school here in Singapore, and he sang the harmony. I call it alto. That's how far he went from being so-called tone deaf to being an important member. As for my friends, I had a group of 20 church goers, all adults, some of whom loved to sing, but amongst them were many who were seriously tone deaf. However, because they were a close-knit group, they all wanted to sing, and I formed a choir for them. Those who couldn't sing were taught till they could. They were so happy when they were able to perform on stage one day with all 4 parts, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, that they proudly announced that now they have a choir. So now how did I do it? Was it by hammering on the keys and say, "Why can't you sing this correctly?" No. Frustration is usually a lack of ideas or a sign of a lack of good systematic teaching techniques. What I did, if this shortcut works, would be if they can't imitate the sound of the piano, then I use the piano to imitate the sound they're singing. So I will find that pitch. If they're singing la, and let's say you don't have perfect pitch, so you will probably find the sound la, la. Okay, this is the closest, and so you try to show that you are looking for that pitch. So get them to recognize that same sound. Once you found the pitch, slowly move them to another pitch, a second or third up. If this doesn't work, then go to the exercise below. I will ask them to imitate sounds of fire engines. Then I'll ask each of them to put their fingers on their throats to feel the Adam's apple going up and down for the high and low sounds. Next, I make another sound of the fire engine. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. That's lesson number 1, and it's their homework to practice those sounds. At this point, it doesn't matter if they are not making the pitches you want. Rather, it's about loosening up their vocal cords and making their voices change pitch. Next lesson will be to check if the child or pupil can make the first sounds of the fire engine. It will be very good if you can hear a change of pitch, perhaps like this. Imitate their pitch. Next, encourage them to widen the range like this. And if they can do that, then widen the range further. and even more like this. Get what I mean? As for the second exercise, once the child can do a certain pitch like then do it for a different key, higher or lower, like in transposition. Higher would be lower would be Remember, at this point, it is about changing pitch. All right? Not about accuracy in pitch. Like an exercise for their voices. So, next exercise for lesson 2 would be to chirp like a bird. Homework: listen to different sounds that birds make and copy them. If there are no birds around you to listen to, you can tune into YouTube or create your own bird sounds. Surely you can make some sounds like cheep, 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 choo, 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 jung, 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 or ark, ark, ark. Lesson 3. Increase the length of the first fire engine by first taking a deep breath and making a continuous, unbroken sound for as long as possible. This is breath training, which is very important for singing, and we will talk more about breathing in our next video. In the meantime, here's a sound of the fire engine for you to imitate. Okay, how about this next sound? Okay, after checking the fire engine sounds, how about making some ambulance sounds like beep-ba, beep-ba? How about some chickens and cockroach sounds like cock-a-kee or cock-a-doodle-doo? Or cat sounds, elephant sounds, sounds of doorbells, car horns, trains, ding-dongs, chimes of clocks, cuckoo, and so forth. Usually, children will have so much fun doing these that even the very shy ones will smile and break their shyness by having some fun with you. If they still cannot do it, it could be because there's a certain lack of will or laziness, so the will needs to be built up. And if that's a will, I can guarantee you they will succeed in singing in pitch. Now, you can move on to having them make a sound for you to follow. Maybe they'll come out with gecko sounds like gecko, gecko. They will have to identify whether you now copy them correctly. Now, pitch matters. Lesson 4. It is after these steps are well received and developed that you can go on to having them follow the sounds that you make with your voice, whether elephant sounds or pitches on the piano. So if you play a pitch, they will have to sing la. If you go, they will have to sing la, or another note, la. Can you see the pitches match now? In our next video, we will look at how to breathe using the muscles of your diaphragm and how to develop long breaths to enable singing in smooth phrases. Now, if you click on the link below, you'll see that I have books written for you to help you develop sight singing so that through that you nurture your inner ear and build the musicianship in you. Go ahead and click to find out how you can order these wonderful books. Please click share, like my video. Please click like, share, and subscribe to my video. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.